says, what shall we say then that Abraham, our father, as pertaining to the flesh, hath found? For if Abraham were justified by works, he hath whereof to glory, but not before God. If Abraham's things had just been works of his own doing, he wouldn't have any place to glory, no reason to glory. No, he not to God. Right. For what saith the Scripture? What saith the Scripture? Abraham did what?
Believe God.
And it was counted unto him for
righteousness.
Abraham believed God. And that's what was accounted to him as righteousness. And therein, saints, right there, if I didn't go another further, that's wherein we sometimes miss it. We don't believe God. We act like we don't believe God.
Right.
You got to believe God.
We've got to.
You can't get from God and not believe God. How you gonna walk around in unbelief and get received from God?
You know, doesn't work that way.
But it said, but what shall we say to Abraham, whose father? Our father. Our father. He's the father of the faithful.
That's right.
He's our father. Some daddies you can't follow. But this father, I heard Elder Bell say a while ago, some of us take on the wrong role model. This role model we can follow. Not everything he did, but we can certainly follow his faith.
That's right.
Believe God, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Right standing. Now, to him that worketh is the reward not reckoned of grace, but of debt. I owe you that. But to him that worketh not, but believeth on him that justifieth the ungodly. Justify. Now, justify basically means to declare or to decree or to call righteous or in right standing. That's what justify means, to be in right standing with God. Now, even as David also described it, the blessed verse 6, the blessedness of the man unto whom God imputeth righteousness without works. We're blessed. There's no thing that we can do or that we could have done to be righteous and have right standing. Now, we can do things and be holy, but we can't do anything to be righteous. There's nothing you can do to put yourself in right standing with God. You can try all you want to, but there's nothing you can do of yourself that makes you righteous.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Nothing. You just have to do what God says do, and the way to do that for us is to believe God. David said, verse 7, blessed are those whose iniquities are forgiven and whose sins are covered. Blessed is the man to whom the Lord will not impute sin. Will not impute sin. That's blessed. We're blessed.
Amen.
We're blessed.
Amen.
When Jesus died on the cross, went down in hell, served our sentence, came back, carried that basin of blood and offered it to God, we were then declared righteous.
Yes.
Through the what? The blood. Now you got to believe that.
We have to believe it.
You got to believe that.
That's right.
You can't get there no other way, mother.
That's the only way.
If you're going to be blessed, you're going to have to believe that Jesus is what they call your propitiation or your substitute.
That's right.
And if it hadn't been for him, you wouldn't have got there.
All right.
That's right.
Then he's asked this question in verse 9. Basically, he said, cometh this, or did this come, this blessedness come upon them, upon the circumcision only, or upon the uncircumcision also? For we say that faith was reckoned to Abraham, or counted to him, for righteousness. How was it reckoned? When he was in circumcision or in uncircumcision?
Okay.
when was this accounted to him? God told him he was going to bless him when he was uncircumcised. Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision. And then he received the sign of circumcision, a seal of righteousness of the faith which he had yet being uncircumcised. God had already sealed that, but he went on to do what God said do. And it was accounted to him for righteousness. How many in here got any kind of account at all? Maybe a bill, bank account, some kind of account. You got some kind of account. Whatever that account is, say it is a bill. Wouldn't you be happy and glad if somebody just called you tomorrow and said, Sister Bell, your account has a zero balance?
Yes, sir. Jump in the shower.
Yes, sir.
Shout if you want. Wouldn't you be glad tomorrow, Mother Johns, if somebody called you and said, Sister Johns, you and Brother Johns have $200,000 in your account.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Baby, wouldn't you be glad if they said, look, baby, you got $250,000 in your account? Listen, I would be happy, even if it said I had $250 that I didn't put in there.
Yes. That's right. I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right.
Yes.
No, you're right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
But God did this while we were, Bible says, while we were yet sinners, while we were yet uncircumcised in the heart, God died for us.
Yes.
Thank you, God.
Woo. And he received the sign of the circumcision, a seal of righteousness of the faith, which he had yet been uncircumcised, that he might be the father of all them that believe. Basically, he's saying Abraham did this thing believing that he might be the father, because God said it of all. I'm 99 years old. Let me read on first. That though they be not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed unto them also. And the father of circumcision to them who are not of the circumcision only, but who also walk in the steps of that faith of our father Abraham. Are you walking in the steps of our father Abraham? Then you're blessed. Then you're blessed. If you're walking in the steps of Father Abraham, if you are believing God,
And I receive that.
if you believe what God said, this is how you're going to be blessed, then you're walking in the steps
All right.
of Father Abraham, and you are blessed.
Bless. Thank you, God.
Which he had being yet uncircumcised. Verse 13. For the promise that he should be heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through righteousness
Your righteousness.
of faith.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. What a word.
Faith is what made Abraham righteous.
Yes.
Believing is what made Abraham righteous. Believing is what made Abraham God's firstborn.
Right.
We know David was his home boy, but his first main boy was Abraham.
Abraham.
Abraham was the first tither.
Yes, he was.
All right.
Oh, I know that makes some people mad. They don't make them mad here at Monument, I know.
No, sir.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus.
For if, verse 14, for if they which are of the law be heirs, faith is made void. If you just, from the law, if you just of the seed of the Hebrews, the Israelites, then that faith is void.
All right.
And the promise is made of none effect.
Okay.
Because the law worketh wrath, for that where there is no law, there is no transgression. You can't transgress if there be no law against.
That's right.
Therefore, it is of faith that it might be by grace.
By grace.
For it is by faith through grace. Remember that scripture? To the end, the promise might be sure or guaranteed to all the seed. Not to that only which is of the law, but to that also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. As it is written, verse 17, I have made thee, I have made thee, I have made thee. See, in order for you to go get circumcised, you got to believe, elder, that he's already made you.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
The father of many nations. Before him whom he believed, even God, who quickens the dead, and God does what? And calleth those things which be not as though they were. If we can get that principle into our spirit, God calls the Abraham didn't have one baby of Sarah at that time. But God said, you are a father. You are a father.
Yes.
I have made you a father.
Yes.
Of how many nations? Many nations. And then your seed is going to be exceeding fruitful. You're going to go past just being fruitful. Some people think, well, back in the old days they had 10, 15, 20 children. That's fruitful. That's way fruitful. I think that's way past fruitful for me. But it's fruitful.
Right. Yeah.
Abraham's seed, he said, your seed's going to be like the sands on the sea and the stars in the sky. And you don't have one child. And I got to get circumcised too.
Yes.
Don't you think? Now, remember, you know what we said? I'm going to tell you something, Lord.